beat is
And I'll talk about it today. I said the world is yours. And I'm like, they ain't talking like this. So whoever you think is the best, they not making the world is yours. They're not making if I rule the world. They're not making juicy. They're not making warning. They're not making sky's the limit. They're not doing it. They're not making can't not the hustle. They're not making the evil. They're not making what? They're not making it. No disrespect. I'm a rapper. I'm not making it.
These biting my style, I hope they got dental plans. So get it straight from the source and cut out the middleman. Get that pure dough. Get that pure dough. Go get it straight from the source and cut out the middleman. Get that pure dough.
Got your mic, bro. It's me, Handsome. Back with another episode of Verse for Verse. I'm here with the big bros. Big U is in the building.
Yes, sir.
James Rich is definitely in the building.
Yes, y'all.
And today I feel like, I was talking to you, Rich, and you mentioned the song, but instead of talking about the song, let's have a conversation between us brothers here today.
Right.
Do you love yourself, Rich?
I do. Yes.
What was the little pause about? Like,
I don't know. I mean, I think sometimes I'll speak for myself. I question am I my best self or at any given moment. Or not even that, also that, and sometimes like am I happy with like the way things are at the moment. So I just wanted to really give myself a quick thought before I just blatantly just answer the question.
Right. And you, Big U, do you love yourself?
Yeah. I think like at the place that I'm at right now in my life and how I feel about the totality of who I am, good, bad, or indifferent, I probably love myself more right now than I have at any other particular time in my life.
I was definitely going to get to that. Was there a point in time you didn't love yourself?
I don't think that I ever didn't love myself, but I think that there were times when I was very hard on myself for different things. I didn't give myself grace at different times. I always loved myself, but I don't think I loved myself the best way at times that I could have.
Got you. And what about you, Rich? Like, when did you learn because obviously, like you said, you thought about it and put it together. Like, when did you learn to love yourself the way that you love yourself now?
I think I'm still learning to love myself, to be honest. I think because I'm constantly changing and challenging myself that I have to fall in love with the newer versions of me. I think it's obviously there's a me that's inside of me that I think I'm trying to get to that I don't, so I think that person, I'm going to love him when I meet him. But I know he's in there and I'm just trying to like bring him, to fruition. And what Seth said made me think like there was definitely times when I didn't, like I was hard on myself. So I felt like I didn't love who I was. Like I didn't think that I worked hard enough. I didn't think that I had achieved things that I wanted to achieve. And I always talk about it like, thinking back on those times, it's like I think my love for myself has always kept me moving forward. Cause I think I've been playing with this new theory in my head, like self-awareness is the real intelligence. Like the more you know yourself, that's really where the intelligence comes from. Cause then you're able to actually create things and utilize your God-given abilities to create things in this world. But you got to know your abilities to do that.
And I think something that goes with self-awareness is people understanding that there are two different versions of yourself. There's yourself, who you actually are, and then there's the self that people want. Like people want to be a particular thing, and right. I think that thing gets in the way of them being who they actually are sometimes.
A fact.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of knowing your capabilities. Like that's me. Like I think for a long time I've had high self-esteem, you know, hence I go by the name Handsome. You know what I'm saying? It was always a thing of having high self-esteem and also understanding my capabilities, understanding there was things that I might not be that good at. You know what I mean? Like, we've all grown up being athletes, and pretty much, personally, I want to say we've been pretty good at everything that we've tried to put our, you know, efforts into. You know what I mean? So, like, for instance, like, you've been to Top Golf before, Seth?
Nah.
So, like, we've been to Top Golf, and I'm not good at that. You know what I mean? And it bothers me, though, because I'm not good because it's not something that I practice, right? So when we go, I'm mad that I can't do good, and it's like, now I want to spend mad money so when we go I could be good, but I'm like, you know what I mean? So it's just understanding I could be good at things, but you got to work at whatever it is you want to be great at.
I think that's I think you got to work at self-love too. Like, as you was talking, I think that's why when you ask, it's mad funny because I knew the song we was doing and I didn't even think about it. And as I'm thinking about it now, it's like that might be part of my struggle. I don't think I know how to love myself. I think because I've spent a lot of my life trying to be good, like trying to be good at things, like trying to help others, and like you said, you said that there's two yous, right? Like who you are and who you want to be. And I almost feel like there's another version, like who other people think you are. And if you're not very, very strong and self-aware, that person that other people want you to be or think you are, you can start believing that's who you actually are. Because a lot of us see ourselves through other people's eyes, right? Like how other people treat us, the respect others give us, all of that stuff tells us who we are, right? Like some people are really arrogant and I'm this and I'm that because people are telling them that. We talk about that with women, right? Like if a woman gets told they beautiful, they the best, that's who they think they are. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of their attributes and characteristics.
I literally know heavy, unattractive women that talk about how pretty they are all the time. And I'd be so confused. Like, who's telling these women this? Because if you looked at yourself, you don't look good. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to say to you, because I remember a time me and you, we've had certain conversations about what you was just saying, who other people view you as. I remember you saying to me, obviously, these are all old things. You may have new outlooks on life, but like, if a bunch of people see you as a certain way, could you actually be that person?
That's why I said I think it's three versions. I don't know. Like that's kind of something that I'm struggling with, right? Because I feel like, and he's gonna talk about it in this song, but I think our environments push us in certain directions, right? Like I think about who I am now, and even right now in this very moment, at my big age, there's things that I know I want to do, but I feel I have to go about it in a certain way as to not disrupt where I come from and how where I come from views me and how where I come from likes things to go. I may want to do things and behave in a manner that's not necessarily like, oh, that's how we do things. We don't do things like that. So kind of I am that person that people want me to be, but deep down that's where the conflict comes from, I think. And that's where when you the self-love comes in, because it's like, damn, I don't love myself fully because I don't think I'm fully who I want to be. Or I'm not able to, be who I want to be.
And what do you think about that, Seth? Like the whole, if a bunch of people is like, you are this, you are that, like, could that be who you are?
To them and their perception, that could be who you are. But I think that it only matters who you know yourself to be. Like, people that tell somebody like, if only you could see what I see. But that's the thing. Right. If the person can't see that, then you can't be anything that you can't see. And like to the point of what other people think you are. I remember when I was younger, I know they used to call me the golden child, all this type of shit. And I was just a regular young kid, like struggling. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm poor. Like, what do you mean? For real, people that had like beautiful, you know what I'm saying? My parents not to get all this type of shit that I was going through in my head as a kid. And it's like, what are you guys seeing that's so golden? But that's people's perception. You know what I'm saying? They see whatever they want to see.
Right.
So Yeah, it is what it is.
I think, like you talk about, reaching this level. Like for me, I'm at a place where, because I didn't get to talk about if I love myself, right?
Right.
I do love myself, and I feel like, I was a big fan of Naruto. I don't know if you've ever watched Naruto.
Yeah, I didn't watch that as much as y'all did.
That's my
but
guy.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's like, and I mean, and it's funny, I'm saying Naruto, but I think this is probably a thing in real life and stuff too, but like unlocking these chakras.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's how you reach this highest level of greatness. You know what I mean? So I always feel like I'm just constantly trying to unlock these different levels to
Right.
become my greatest version. You know what I
Right.
mean? But I do feel one of the chakras that needs to be unlocked is being financially straight. Like that's like a chakra that people might not speak on, but I think it's another thing that when you get that security and that comfortability, you are gonna live a even better life. You know what I mean? If you unlock the other ones already of being comfortable with who you are and having family and friends that you love.
Why do you think that's so important? I'm only asking because I haven't studied this, but however I've seen like the chakras thing, like I've never heard of financial being a part of that. So
Facts.
why is that something like? Why do you think that?
And for me, it's because me loving myself the way I do is certain things that I still, we talk about giving ourselves grace and such, but it's like the things that I want to do for my family
Yeah.
that I'm unable to do right now sometimes puts me down just a bit. Like, damn, like I'm almost there.
Right.
I'm almost there. And when I get there and I'm able to do that, I'll have more freedom. And I think that's a part of the chakras, having this freedom. You know what I mean? You
Right.
unlock it and now you're free from, you're not even on this world anymore in a sense. You're just living on your own level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that
It's
a
funny
piece.
you said that because, like, for me, I think going with what you said, I almost feel like part of it is a societal thing because when I'm thinking of freedom, I think that's somewhat of a mindset, right? Somewhat of a mindset because what's freedom? We all, like us right here, are free enough to the sense that we ain't starving for no food. You know what I mean? We all got places to live. We got family. We got loved ones. So we can kind of be as free as we want as far as life and liberty, right? But then as long as providing certain lifestyles, that's something different. But I think that's also perspective and a lifestyle choice. Because I'm sure there's places in the world that don't have the things, the opportunities and access that we have where that's not even an option. I don't know what you're referring to, what you want to do for your family, but I'm sure there's other places where they're like, I don't need to do that. Like that's not part of my freedom, right? Like it's part of your freedom because I'm assuming because that's how we were raised and these are the things we aspire to get. Right. So it's like all of that starts making me think more about like the pressure that the outside world puts. It messes with our minds in this very weird way. When you really start thinking about it, it gets like scary. Because for me, it's like, how do I get out of it? Because money, I mean, I have more money than I've ever had. And I feel better about some things and then feel worse about other things. So it's just very weird.
I think, but I think that's one of the chakras that needs to be unlocked of not worrying about things like I've unlocked this already. Now I just need to do that. When you say you have more money than you've ever had, it's like, some people, and not you, I think you're pretty much ready for money. You know what I mean? I think so. But like some people aren't ready to have a lot of money. They didn't know how to be comfortable in wearing old jeans or old shoes. You know what I mean? They're not comfortable with themselves to get the money. They're going to probably lose the money when they get the money because they don't know really how to function with money. You know what I mean? So I think depending on who you are and the levels you have reached, certain things won't bother you anymore, or maybe I don't know. What do you think, Seth?
What you mean, like if you reach a certain financial status, there are things
before you reach the financial status. Yeah. If you are able, it's like if you learn how to live without money,
right?
Like
I feel like
Well,
I'm
we've all had to
somewhere-
learn how to live without,
about to
but
tell
we
you,
was forced to.
I feel
This
like
is what I'm saying.
somewhere in that thing where so the money as it comes, it's just like icing on the perfectly baked cake. Without icing, that cake probably is delicious.
Facts.
But then when you put that icing on top, it is it's the most perfect. So
Yeah.
I think that with or without money, I'm gonna be happy with or without whatever worldly things.
Yeah.
Like the most important things in my life to me are my family, or you guys, my daughter's mom, my wife. Like things like that are important to me. As long as I
Right.
have relationships with the people that I love and care about, and I'm able to see you guys regularly, and like that's where I get my happiness is from energy, from good energy from
Right.
people that I love and I care for.
And the crazy thing is, I know that, and it still gets confusing. And I think that what I was gonna say was to add to what Seth is saying, the money thing, it gives her access that then creates another level.
Yeah.
Where whatever financial status you think you want to reach, that's going to change once
When
you
you
reach
get
it.
there, you're gonna-
because now
yeah.
you have access to other things. Now you're like, oh, I could do
Yeah.
that too. Well, I gotta get to that point to do that, and that's where what Seth is saying. It's a skill set. I think self-love and self-awareness and humbleness and just and being present, like you said, being present to take in all these magical opportunities we have to spend time with family and things like that. Because the money thing is like I always tell the story. When I was young, everything I wanted when I was a kid, I have. I didn't have huge aspirations because I didn't grow up with a lot of money, so my dreams wasn't huge. But everything that I wanted, I have. That doesn't stop me from wanting other things now. So now it's like it's the same pressure, which was making me realize like it's something I think we know this, but it's something inside of us that we have to figure out. I wanted to say fix, and it might be fix, but figure out, understand for us to love ourselves fully.
So just to bring it back to the chakras and unlocking, right? Most of the time in these animes and stuff,
Yeah.
the only time they reach this chakra
It's in the darkness.
is when they almost die.
Yeah, and you gotta go through it.
You know what I mean? Like it'd be like you gotta
It's
drain
almost
all
pain-
Naruto had to
Yeah.
kill all of his regular energy to bring out the
But
nine-tailed
that's
fox.
it. But that's it. So when you were talking, I was gonna say that we gotta kill these negative voices inside of us. That's what it is. That's the work. But the thing is, those things are tied to things that make you who you are. A lot of these things, I'll speak for myself, are tied to who I know my friends to be, who I know my family to be. So I feel like if I was to change a lot of the things I think about myself, I think these things because of things people around me have put on me. So for me to get rid of them, it's almost like I feel like I'm getting rid of them. It's like these people see me this way and I'm not who they think I am. So how does that affect our relationship? So all of these things for me, like you said, you got to kill these inner things. To me might be a demon, and it's just scary. Those are the scary, but that's how you get to the other side.
Seth, I got a question for you. Do you think you are who people think you are?
Depends on what people you talking about, because so in this world there are people that are inside my circle of people, and then there's whoever, and if it's not the people that
Inside
are in my
the circle.
circle of people, I don't care
Got you.
what those people think. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I feel like the people that are in the circle know me well enough that I think I'm pretty much with those people, you know, to some extent what they think I am. Yeah.
Got you. Rich, I mean, I want to ask you the same thing, but I kind of know. I think, you know, we talk a lot about things and, you know, you've always been, I'm figuring it out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? People always been telling me I'm this, but maybe I'm not that. Maybe I'm this.
You know what? I think people that love me know who I am, because I think. But I'm also a very emotional person, so it's like I this is gonna sound about like some wild shit.
I felt it coming. I was like, yes, we got him. Hot
I'm not
take,
even gonna
Rich.
say it. I'm not gonna say it. But
I felt it.
But I really want to be a reflection of happiness and love. Like that's who I want to be. And that's what I try to be. But once again, and I'm sure we're going to get to it, I think how I grew up and where I grew up kept me from being that. Because I don't think I grew up in a place. I don't think none of us in the hood is people don't show love. It's like people show love because they have to. It's like people show love because you're dominant in certain ways because they have to respect you. I feel. I don't think I really experienced a lot of genuine like love. I think, like you said, I've been good at things my whole life. So it's to a point where, like, for you to not like me, you don't want me as an opposition. Like, that's weird. Like, why would you oppose me? Like, I'm really good at with people. So it's like, I think that's my issue. I feel like I haven't been able to be my full self.
Yeah, I can agree. Like, for me personally, I've always tried to be who I believe I am, you know what I mean? Whether people may disagree or not, I've always had a vision for who I'm supposed to be, what I'm supposed to do. And I think, now in my 30s, it's like, I found, besides my family, like I found some close people to me that I recognize love me for who I am, and they don't need or want anything from me.
Right.
You know what I mean? When you talk about growing up and being good at things, people just give you love. You know what I mean? Niggas
Right.
was really nice in ball. Niggas was really nice in rap. Niggas was really getting girls. Like, well, not you. They didn't desire after you, but
Supposedly.
women did desire
I had a lot
after
of girls
niggas.
around me, though.
You know what I
We
mean?
can say that.
So I think, it's like it's a great thing when Steph's talking about a circle, you start surrounding yourself with people who just genuinely love your energy
for you,
and
yeah.
love being there for you and want to be there for you without really expecting anything except good energy back. That's it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I think that you said something that was powerful. You said that either you stopped trying or that you was trying to be. I think that if trying is involved, that you're probably not being yourself.
Right.
If you have to try,
Right.
if you're trying, because if
fact.
you're yourself, you just exist as who you are. Good, bad, or indifferent. Some people might think it's good or bad or whatever, but you just are who you are.
That's a fact. It's when you're younger, it's easy to be manipulated and peer pressure.
That's what I was gonna say. The trying, I think, comes from, especially for me, especially when I was younger. It's like I'm trying to, but damn, this shit don't work. Like people,
what I'm saying.
people
It's
don't
not-
want to let me be. And now it's almost like, shit. If I'm gonna be myself, I'm gonna be myself.
They
It's
either gonna
like,
fuck with it or not.
Yeah.
know what I
But
mean?
because I'm so empathetic or empathic, that messes with me. That's the problem. Like, when I know people are disappointed in me, it really like shuts me down in a weird way.
I used to be like that.
I'm about to say just people though, like any people.
Kind of, because because we talked about earlier in the show, like I kind of love everybody on a very similar level. I don't
He
really.
says this all the time, which actually bothers me. It actually bothers me.
It's not
but-
just random people,
Nah,
right?
he's been saying this for a very long time.
Loves everybody the same.
I'm like, you don't love your brother more than
That's
you
what
love
I-
this guy
but
over here.
that's what I'm saying. Not
Like,
a stranger.
Not even
but
a
I
stranger,
mean, like,
but
people
even
that
a friend. I mean, listen, I love my friends for real. Like, you know what I mean? There's not much that they can't ask me for. But, and I guess this is a bad, analogy, but it's like, if it's y'all or them, it's clearly y'all. We have the same blood. So, but I mean, it's not a thought. I feel like for you saying I love y'all the same, not that you would think about it because I'm your brother, but it just sounds strange.
There's duty in that too, though, right? So there's duty that's gonna trump everything, right? There's things that you have to do because of duty and just who you're supposed. What I believe in, like my family and that type of stuff comes first, right? But when it comes to like just showing love to people, and I forgot who said this, but it just hit me crazy. It was like, children can never love their parents the way their parents love the child because the adult has done so much for the child.
Yeah.
Right? I do so much for everybody that I'm close to. So the feeling that I have for everybody that I consider a friend is very serious because I will give anything if I had it. You know what I'm saying? And I've done, and not only will I've done it for so long. That's the problem, to be honest. The problem is I've been this way for so long. And it's like, And it's like, damn, like I've really been this way for mad long, and other people have never been this way.
You think that's a problem? Because you said that's the
It
problem.
bothers me now because I'm being myself now, where it's like you said, I'm protecting my own energy to an extent, but that's not who I am. But because it's hurtful, I have to.
I've been in the same place.
Like I don't want to separate from people, but
you want to keep doing what you feel good doing.
Yeah.
But then you don't want to do it for people, and then
it's a detriment to myself though. That's the only way I won't do it. If it hurts me in some way, if it takes from my family, if it takes from things I'm trying to build, and that's what I realize. Sometimes like I was saying as the EB, everything is like I realize now elimination is everything. You kind of have to, what they say, lighten the load, right? Like shed the herd and able to focus on building what you want to build. And I've been spent so much of my life kind of just trying to bring everybody in, bring everybody together. And I feel like I've been wasting energy. And I realize now it's like, all right, we got to lock in. But it's just hurtful for me to do that. But, it is what it is.
At the end of the day, you love yourself.
Yeah.
So let's get into this song that we're doing today from this. He's from Compton. Compton legend.
Crazy.
West Coast legend.
Yo, how come all the greats come from like the same places? It's just so, man. It's crazy.
But today we're going to talk about this amazing song, Lowercase I, by Kendrick Lamar.
I'm sure that's done deliberately. Because I is never lowercase.
Facts.
Well, the term I is not ever. You can't lowercase it. That would be grammatically incorrect.
Yes. This song is
I think I
really
just figured it out.
amazing.
Yeah.
Like super duper fluper amazing.
Definitely.
And every time I listen to it, I feel amazing. There's never a time that I could obviously we all have times of we're down. You can put this song on and it kind of will, for me personally, it always gets me up and going and I think he did that purposely. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Making a song like this, and we're gonna get into the lyrics where he kind of breaks some of that down. I'm gonna start off. He says, "I done been through a whole lot, trial tribulation, but I know God. Devil wanna put me in a bow tie. Pray the holy water don't go dry.
Yeah.
As I look around me, so many motherfuckers wanna drown me, but enemy gon' never drown me. In front of a dirty double mirror, they found me, and I love myself. When you looking at me, tell me what do you see? I love myself. Put the bullet in the back of the head of police. I love myself. Illuminated by the hand of God, boy, don't seem shy. I love myself one day at a time." So let's talk about that. All right. I done been through a whole lot, trial tribulations, but I know God. The devil want to put me in a bow tie. What you think he's saying, Rich?
Man, it's life. It's like I've come from the struggle, but I know God, so I know the truth, right? I know righteousness, but it just feels like devil won't leave me alone.
Right. He's trying to dress you up. You know what I mean? He trying to get you to do some of his dirty work out here. He trying to get you to feel the negativity and do things that you shouldn't be doing, being the opposite of righteous.
Right, and then the next line I love because he goes, "Pray that the holy water don't go dry." Yeah. Because to me, when I hear that, I think of obviously myself, and I think of like how much more time do I get? Like how many more opportunities does God give me to accomplish what I'm supposed to accomplish? Like, is that blessing gonna go away if I don't become who He needs me to be in time? Right, so I like that just the visual of it going dry, like it's just drying up and slipping away. I don't have that opportunity for that blessing.
Seth, as I look around me, so many MFers wanna down me, but enemy go never drown me. In front of a dirty double mirror, they found me.
That's my shit too.
What does that sound like to you? He's saying, Seth.
I feel like he's talking about. Just you have people at all times, regardless of how genuine and pure your incentives and whatever you're trying to do is, your intentions are, they're going to try to put negativity on you. And most of the time, it's only because they fear what they can or cannot do themselves. So if they see you trying to reach out to do something or go be positive or do something great, they're going to wish destruction on that because they feel like I couldn't do that. So then that person can't do it either because they don't love theyself.
Right.
And the fact that you does, it scares them, so then they're going to try to put negativity on you.
Facts.
I like this double in front of a dirty double mirror.
That's
They
crazy.
found me.
So crazy. What do you like about that? I want to
mean,
give you my analogy.
I'm
of
about
it.
to say it's crazy, right? Because when I think of what is it?
Double mirror.
A double mirror.
Dirty double mirror.
Right, but first, just before it's dirty, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a double mirror.
It's a double mirror.
So that's like when they watching you,
Yeah,
right?
like in a police station.
Yeah, they're watching you. So you're in front of a double mirror, and they're setting you up almost. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They're trying to get you to fall off, like, or whatever they're trying to push you to do. They're watching you, hoping that you do what they want you to do.
Right.
And then it's dirty. So it's kind of like you really not expecting it. You like, yeah, this is a regular mirror, because I don't think they keep their double mirrors dirty.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's really a setup. They're really trying to make you think that it's something that it's not at all times. And back to what Seth was saying, it's almost like people be having so many bad intentions.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's where I get from.
I looked at it totally different, but I like that interpretation of it. I looked at it like back to the title, the
Did say they
lowercase
found
I,
me.
the lowercase I, right? I feel like he's talking about God, right? Because we talk about this, right? Like, I believe I am God, and God is the inner me, and we usually we call ourselves like the lowercase G's, right? Not the big G. The big G is the big G. We the lowercase G. So I feel like his I is like he's the lowercase I, but the true him, like we were talking about before this song even started, the true him is the godly him, and that's the God. So when I think about the double mirror, that's the God looking back at him. Because when you look in the mirror, you see yourself, right? But it's a reflection. That's what we call it.
Right.
But I think inside the mirror, that person looking back is actually the inner you looking back at you. So it goes both ways.
And I didn't even give my take on the double mirror. So what I feel like too is because of the eye and the focus on loving yourself and all of that, that dirty double mirror, you got people that are watching you that don't know that you know that they're watching you, and what they think they're seeing. So in a dirty double mirror, you might be clearly see what you think you see. So what they think they see, they swear that they got the one up on you. But if you're living in your true self, they can't have one up on you because you're being you. Like they can't.
I love that.
Guess who you gonna be? What you gonna do? Like they watching you. Watch something else. Don't watch me. Watch TV.
Godly boss.
I wanted to rap the other hook for you because the other hook is
Never
wild.
heard the other hook, bro.
So the other hook goes, and I love myself. The world's a ghetto with big guns and picket signs. I love myself, but it can do what it want whenever it want. I don't mind. I love myself. He said I gotta get up. Life is more than suicide. I love myself. One day at a time. The sun gonna shine. Yeah. Right? And a couple reasons why I love that hook. One, just the line, he said I gotta get up. Life is more than suicide. We talk about that before on this show with like people just living just to get by. It's like suicide. You're just waiting to die. You're just killing yourself, right? If you're not really moving in your God spirit and achieving what you want to achieve, it's like suicide. I love that line. And obviously the last one day at a time, sun gonna shine. I got that tattooed on me. You know what I mean? So I was like, yo, this back to loving yourself, right? Like this is a song about the world's ghetto, big guns and picket signs. It's like coming from where we come from. It's just so much negativity, and we gotta find a way to stay positive. So yeah, I just wanted to read the other hook too, because the other hook is crazy.
Let's get into this. Says verse 1.
Yeah, he goes nuts on the next.
You got this, Rich?
They
want to say it's a war outside, bomb in the street, gun in the hood, mob of police, rock on the corner with a line for the fiend, bottle for the lean, and the model on the skin. These days of frustration keep y'all on tucking rotation. I duck these old faces, post up.
Feet 5-0 from bases. Dreams of reality's peace.
Oh yeah.
Blow steam in the face of the beast. The sky could fall down, the wind could cry. Now the strong in me, I still smile.
I love myself.
And you know you skipped a verse, but that's fine. We could do this one first.
Oh nah, this is on this.
Oh, it's another version. That's
See,
why.
That's crazy.
Okay. But this verse is fire. So let's talk about it.
Crazy. They want to say it's a war outside, bomb in the street, gun in the hood, mob of police, rock on the corner with a line for the fiend and a bottle for the lean and a model on the scene. So like that right there, you know, that's when I was talking about how, you know, him making this song, it's like he makes sure he's separating himself from everybody else saying these same things about, you know, the negativity that's going on and everything that's happening in the world and bottle full of lean, models, popping models. I think we had a song called Models in Heels, Bottles on Chills. We've made that song. You know what I mean? But he's talking about loving himself, trying to change things and make people feel good, because even though that may make you feel good for the moment, this will make you feel good forever when you love yourself.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a big fact.
So what do you want to get into?
The last 2 bars is just
Sky could
crazy.
fall down, wind could cry now.
Well, even before that, dreams of reality's
peace.
peace. Blow steam in the face of the beast.
Ugh.
The sky could fall down, the wind could cry now. The strong in me, I still smile. Like, he's just saying, like, he's ready for everything, and he's not going to back down. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we got to do. And the funny thing is, I take this differently. When I heard this, I look at this like me fighting myself. Like as I was talking about earlier, I feel like that's the only person I'm fighting with these days, and only person I'm competing with is myself to try to be the best version of me. And like I said before, sometimes that other version of me, I don't like that person, and I'm trying to destroy him. Like, I'm trying to kill that nigga, man, because I know who I want to be, but this other nigga's just there because I was raised this way. And I'm trying to just get the shit out my brain, but it's hard. So it's like, I blow steam in the face of the beast. Like, so I love the end of that. Like, it's just, you know, he's different. Kendrick is just different.
Yeah, I think, so Seth, like, for me, you know, when he said, you know, he's fighting against himself, I think that's like, at this point of our lives, I think that's all we are doing, right? Like, we've reached a level of, I'm not worried about what's going on over there. I gotta make sure I'm good and I'm growing and getting into more of my godly person. You know what I'm saying? For you, is that the same thing where it's like, nobody can really get you off your square except you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I believe that in any arena, whether it be like we play sports, basketball, whether it's music, whether you're trying to master a craft or learn a skill or whatever, once you realize that the only real battle is you against what you perceive that you should be or that you could be, because nobody can really stop you from doing anything. Nobody can stop you from doing, like when you're younger, there's a bunch of you're always blaming you're pointing finger all the time. Or, oh, they don't like me. This person don't diss me, this, that. As you get older, you start realizing that, nah, you know, I should have got up earlier. I should have read another 20 pages. I should have did another 20 push-ups. I should have ran another mile. I should have, you know what I'm saying? Like, you start realizing that it's just whatever you didn't do that put you in the predicament that you might feel like you're in, because most times you're not even in the predicament, because all you got to do is decide to be out of it. Right. It's only you. Like,
and
it's always.
And for me, that thing, like, oh, somebody else's fault, it's like, I almost feel like that's a learned way of thinking, because although I know that that's not the case, I get those feelings. And then I have to remind myself, like, nah, you just gotta focus. You just gotta.
I think, you know, that way of thinking, right? That it's somebody's fault or it's not somebody's all my fault. I think, you know, there's a balance. I know you don't believe in balances so much. You know what I mean? You gotta kind of stand one way sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But like, sometimes there is accountability. That the way things happen. We can go back to the beginning of something and say, if I never did this, then that wouldn't have happened. You know what I mean? So you can take full accountability for things at times.
And that could get too heavy.
Right.
So on the other side of that.
Right. You know what I mean? So it's always, I think, and I mean, it depends on the situation, obviously. You know what I mean? Because you could go through something with your wife and it's like, damn, I was supposed to do this as a man. I was supposed to do this. At the same time, she wilded out and started wilding. It's like, you know.
I got a question for you, but how long? Well, maybe I guess you're answering it, because sometimes it's like, how long can you do that though, right? Like, we're all human, right? So if we go, like, I think that's coming up in a certain environment affects you because you have to constantly fight. It's different if, like, you know, you go through these times every now and then and you gotta just be strong and accountable. But if you gotta be accountable all the time, that can get heavy. And I be feeling like that.
I was gonna
like,
say you do that. That's
yeah,
like your thing?
that's kind of where I'm at right now. Like, I just feel very, very heavy. Like, I mean, so heavy that it's like I just be like, yo, I don't even want to talk to nobody because I don't want nobody else to feel the heaviness that I feel. I don't want that to come out. I want to stay positive and light, but accountability gets heavy after a certain amount of time.
If I knew that you if I didn't know that you didn't like when people touch you, I'd get up and give you a hug to try to take some of that heaviness off you.
Right.
Know, but I know you're not.
I
into
appreciate that.
You know
Even
what I'm
saying that helps.
You know what I'm saying? Because
good.
I think that's a real thing. You know, dealing with that accountability all the time. You know what I mean? But then it goes into giving yourself grace, as
Right.
Seth said. You know,
Yeah.
That's the
we're
balance.
still really learning how to be and growing and becoming better every day. That should always be the goal. Like, what did I do yesterday? What did I mess up yesterday? Let's not make that mistake again. Let's
Right.
move forward and make sure we learned our lesson so we could be better today and not do the same wrongs that we did yesterday. And real quick, before you go, Seth, just about being righteous, you know what I mean? And not being perfect. Like, once I got to that mindset of, life is simple. I just have to do the right thing all the time.
Right.
But that is difficult as hell. Is this temptation? Is that? It's like, we know, I mean, probably, I don't know about Seth so much, but like the drinking, we know this shit is poison. I love to drink.
Huh?
I love to drink, bro. Like, I really
Drinking's
enjoy a
poison?
drink. That alcohol is shit. Damn, nigga told me it's poison.
God.
No, man. So it's just like, it's like I know that certain things are not the right thing to do.
You gotta pick your battles.
Facts.
Or you'll like that's where it gets heavy. If you just fighting all the time, it becomes very heavy. So there's some times where maybe a Muslim might need to eat a pork sandwich or something like that. And no offense to the Muslims,
Right.
but sometimes you gotta just let it down and to kind of retrace back to the accountability thing. Like, it's a mindset that I carry, but it's not so heavy because I understand that you can't ever always do the right things.
Right.
We know the right things. We've been raised and brought up and all those types of things. We know the right things to do, but you gotta the grace.
Yeah.
The grace comes in to understand, but in being accountable, it gives you the power to control the situations that happen. Because if you're not accountable, when people blame other people, you don't have any control over the outcomes in your life.
Right.
You don't. If you didn't do it, who did it? He did it. Okay, so he can fix it for you. If you want to be able to fix it, you gotta.
So we believe there's no way we can ever just do the right things. Like, we can't.
What, do all the right things?
I'm just saying, like,
It's
knowing.
impossible.
I mean, is it?
Yeah.
I think there's right things for different times, right? Like, maybe in this moment right now, it may be the right thing, but overall, it may not be the right thing. I don't know.
Not so. I'm thinking of it. That was crazy. Yeah, that was like some existential.
Like, for example,
he blew my mind just now.
Cause look,
My
if
mind
there's
is blown.
somebody, if when I said it, that should pick me up. But I'm
He blew my
like,
mind.
if somebody needs me right now, but they probably don't even deserve it, should I just not support them? Right? Like, they don't deserve it. The right thing to do to get this person where they need to be, which is away and out of here, would be to let this person burn. But is that the right thing to do if you can stop somebody from burning?
But can you stop them from
In
burning?
that moment, I can. Maybe not overall. That's what I'm
about to
saying.
say, niggas, people that's gonna burn,
They
they
gonna
gonna
I
burn.
agree. But in this moment, I can save you in this moment. But, it's going to lead. You're going to burn anyway. I agree with you. I hear what you're saying.
So now, I mean, I guess the question is, if it's not really doing anything to you to help them,
That's what I'm saying.
if it's like, oh, all I got to do is throw some water on you.
But
and
it
you'll be
is
all right.
because I'm saving you so pretty much saying you being gone is what needs to happen. Because as long as you're here, there's a possibility you can cause harm.
I think Charleston White was saying something like that.
Really?
But is the right thing inconsiderate of perspective? Because if whatever you feel like is the right thing that you need to do from somebody else's perspective, it might.
Right.
So does that affect if it's right or not?
Yeah, I think ultimately what we're saying is we know what the righteous thing to do, which would be like the greater good. Do we want to, as human beings, live right there all the time? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, and I don't want to give the answer.
Tough one.
I don't know. I don't know. I did want to do the other verse.
There
for you
is
real
another
quick.
verse, though.
Yeah. I just wanted to get the flow right because I didn't want to mess it up.
You're not talking about lift up your head and keep moving? Not that one, because this is another verse.
No, not that one. But you can
Lift
do that
up
one.
your
Go
head
ahead.
and keep moving. Turn the mic up. Peace to the fashion police. I wear
Yeah.
my heart on my sleeve. Let the runway start. You know the miserable do love company.
Yeah.
What do you want from me and my scars?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody like confidence. Everybody like confidence.
How many times my potential was anonymous? How many times the city making me promises?
So I promise this, nigga, I love myself.
Yeah.
That was the verse?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Nah, this is another, and these verses are short and fire.
This right here,
Fire.
man, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. This be messing me up. Everybody looking at you crazy. What you gonna do?
Yeah, that's how that verse starts.
Yeah, because it's different on the version you
It
had.
says crazy what you gonna do. It
Yeah,
does
yeah,
say
yeah.
that.
Oh, okay.
Lift your
What
head
you
up
go-
and keep moving.
Lift your head up and keep moving, or let the paranoia haunt you.
Oh,
and
they
that's
don't have
kind of,
that. They don't
and
have
that's
that
what
in
Steph was talking about. And that's what my I'm very paranoid. I'm extremely paranoid. I'm constantly trying to know what other people are thinking about me all the time.
I used to be like that.
I'm constantly, and also, I'm a teacher, so I talk about it every time I'm giving a training or giving a lecture. I'm like, I tell them, so I'll be honest, like, I want to know what every student, every attendee is thinking, like, because I think it helps me be a better teacher, but it's paranoia and it's not healthy. So and it keeps you from loving yourself, right? Because you're seeing yourself through other people's eyes, and that's not really healthy. And I'm trying to unlearn that.
And those people are people that don't even know you, so they can't even give you a good assessment. Like they seeing you, that's tough.
Right.
That's
So
heavy.
I'll tell you, like, I used to say this to a friend of mine back, like, high school, maybe a little bit after high school. I used to always say, obviously, I don't want this, but, like, I wish I could, like, not die, but, like, see what my funeral would look like if I was dead and I could come back just to see,
how
like,
people felt about you.
to see how people really felt
you.
about me. You know what I mean? Like,
That's interesting that we both have that thing.
You know what I'm saying?
And you said you used to feel that way too.
Word.
Maybe a lot of people do. Maybe that's not a.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think niggas live. They don't give a fuck, and that's cool. That's cool that they can do that.
That's a superpower.
Facts.
It is. I wish. I
Facts.
care way. I know I care too much. I know this for a fact.
Nigga,
And
all
it kills me.
Tansy tells me is you're way too nice. You're way too this. Like, you always worried about what they're gonna. I'm like, I just feel like if I can make something easier, why not? You know, like,
My thing isn't even about being nice to them. I just want to be respected. Yeah.
and I mean that. See what I'm saying? You know, some
The problem
people.
is you can't make anybody respect you.
Facts. And I mean, I'm saying for me, it's not respect. I don't care for controversy. I don't care for it. So, like, sometimes I just let stuff rock because it doesn't matter too much. You know what I mean? Where Tansy might be the person that always has to say something, and then now that trickles into something bigger.
Right.
I always try to stay from things getting bigger.
Right.
You know what I mean? If we could just clip it here, I'm cool with that. That was okay. Yeah, that person was a little loud. I'm okay.
Yeah, unless it's something that's really needs to be addressed.
Exactly.
But I think that's just male-female speak. So
Yeah, 'cause I understand that.
females
My wife always wants to say
never
something at dinner.
they never let it pass. It can't, but they're safe, so they can operate like that. Where in the world that we operate in, we understand that if we
Yeah,
go
we
a
always had the
certain
argument.
way.
I'm like, I don't want this to go somewhere it doesn't have to go. Like,
things
that's
go a certain way,
ridiculous.
it's gonna go. So we try to keep things in a boundary where they just like. I
So
don't
we
care.
we about to get to our favorite parts of this joint. Well, I guess let's do the bridge real quick. Walk my bare feet, bare feet, down, valley deep, down, valley deep, feet, 5, 4, fum. He said, my heart undone. 1, 2, 3. I love myself. But I like the part at the end of that last verse we just did. The whole everybody lack confidence. Everybody lack confidence. How many times my potential was anonymous? How many times the city making me promises? So I promised this. It's like I don't care about what anybody else is saying. What I'm gonna make sure I do from here on out is love myself. That's what I'm on. You know what I mean? And I love that. So I promise this. I love myself.
I'm gonna spit a whole nother verse on the other version that you may not know.
No, this is not the no verse. This is
I went to war last night with an automatic weapon. Don't nobody
that's
call it
here.
medic.
I
I'm gonna do
missed
it till
it.
I get it right. With the war last night, I've been dealing with depression ever since an adolescent, ducking every other blessing. I can never see the message. Like,
never take the lead. I can never bob and weave from a negative and letting it annihilate me.
like he's just different. But I just wanted to give him a shout out. But my favorite part is, I think it's that. Yeah, man. Go ahead, Seth. You go first. You go first. No, I got it. All right. Everybody lack
Give him a
confidence. Everybody lack confidence.
Yeah.
How many times my potential was anonymous?
Yeah.
How many times the city making me promises? So I promise this.
I love myself.
Yeah. Different.
Yeah.
I love this whole song.
Yeah, no, it's a really good one, man. It's a really special song. I think it's gonna be played forever, you know? Like, it's just one of them ones, you know what I mean? Everybody don't have one of those. It's like, I aspire to make a song about loving myself like this and for it to be going on forever. What you got, Big U?
So my favorite part of the song is not like I guess like a run or a stream of lyrics. It's this fee fi fo fum thing, right?
Yeah.
Because he says it in the bridge. It's also a part of in the verse he says, and I feel like he's saying it because as this is for us, for black people, because he's talking about ourselves. We black people. Yeah. We are always taught that we need to be smaller, to shrink, to not be seen, to hide your talents, how different or better or whatever. Fee fi fo fum is what the Giants said. So he's saying that we need to be big.
And that's part of loving yourself, loving your abilities.
Facts. Be big, be huge. Like, don't let them tell you, Yeah, pause.
I like that.
Be big, pause.
I didn't even catch that. Shout out to
I didn't think about that at all.
Shout out to Big
But
U.
that just took the whole song to a whole other level.
That's a fact. Yeah, but
that's Kendrick Lamar.
I mean, before we go, is Kendrick in your top 5?
He has to be.
Is Kendrick in your top 5?
He said, nah. He got to be in mine.
He might make it there, but not yet.
I think that he's definitely in top 5 best rappers of all time. He's not in my top 5 favorite rappers.
Your personal favorites.
Yeah, but I think what he's been doing and the way he puts this stuff together is legendary, and I haven't seen it a lot the way he's done it in my life. Obviously, I wasn't born as many years as you were, Seth, but
I'm an old guy.
This guy is great. And
I agree with that.
Has been another episode of Verse for Verse. Shout out to Big U, James Rich. Shout out to Kendrick Lamar. Shout out to him. He sampled Ozzy Brothers, I think. That was this beat. You know what I mean?
And Mr. Big is in the video.
Man.
Fire.
Let us know your favorite Kendrick verse, Kendrick song, so we could talk about that, break it down. And like, share, comment, subscribe.
All that.
We out of here. It's me. Handsome.
We love ourselves.
I love myself.
These biting my style, I hope they got dental plans. So get it straight from the source and cut out the middleman. Get that pure dough. Get that pure dope. Go get it straight from the source and cut out the middleman. Then you get that